Aloha, beautiful high vibe star family tribe. It is Pink Bella Aloha. Welcome back to my channel. This is another Galactic Akashic Records update and transmission for us all today. Today is star date 9/25/25. So I hope everybody is well. And my name is Pink Bella Aloha. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing this content out. So today I'm hot off the presses of our first Water Guardian um, Galactic Goddess group facilitation. We worked in the Pacific Northwest today, Vancouver, British Columbia, Lower Mainland, all the waterways along the Pacific, down to Washington, Oregon, California, over to Maui, Hawaii, and then back, reconnecting Maui to Hawaii to Oregon to the Columbia River, and then back down to some areas in California. It was incredibly powerful. And I'm super grateful. So, we're going to have some grid work until today, but more importantly, we're going to have another update from the Atlas, 3-Eye Atlas transmission. I'm going to pull some cards, the Galactic Akashic Records, as well as I have a debrief with them every day, and I did confirm that there is a convoy with them right now. So 8 or more ships have connected with them and are coming in as reinforcement. So that's super interesting to me. So as always, I pick up that it's a benevolent energy. They are assisting me to help my area and many areas with our water resources. So for that, I'm grateful. However, I fully align with Prime Source Creator. So Prime Source Creator is here. We're all wrapped in a bubble of light, and the Galactic Akashic Records are now open. So I hope you're all doing well. Okay, so let me just take a look at what we're going to cover. So I'm going to talk about grid work intel just a little bit today. There was we started in the Vancouver area because there's a lot, if you haven't been to Vancouver, there's a lot of waterways, there's a lot of like different rivers, ocean connection, 9 or more bridges. It reminds me like of New York or what's the other area that it reminds me of where there's a lot of waterways. Can't think of it right now, but there's quite a few cities or towns where there's a lot of waterways, and that's what Vancouver's like, and it's grown into this big city. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. There was a lot of physical sensations when we went through the work today in certain areas, and what surprised me was, so I've facilitated grid work through some of these areas in the last 2 years. So what surprised me, and a nice surprise, is some of the waterways right up to the cities actually feel pretty good right now. But the dragon energy wanted to come in and start guarding and protecting the grid systems in these areas and our waters. So that's what we facilitated. But some of the other areas were surprising. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about an area around me, around Oregon. I'm going to talk about the Atlas bone again, because that came up, as well as the convoy arrival. And just to begin with, just going to ask that Prime Source Creator. Oh yeah, so what they're sharing with me too is I did a deep dive with the 3-Eye Atlas transmission yesterday on Rumble, so please go check that out. We got deeper into some of the energies and messages from them, as well as you can follow all my updates on Substack, my Galactic Substack, which is free. And there's also an opportunity to support my work on Substack as well. So all the links for podcasts, Spotify, etc., are in the description box. Okay. All right. So first off, I'm just going to ask them to step in. So Prime Source Creators around us, the records are open, and I'm going to ask that my liaison for 3-Eye Atlas come in and just I'm going to pull a couple cards and just say, what do we need to know right now? 10 of Cups, which has been coming forward a lot. And by the way, everyone, the image might feel a little bit blurry. There's a lot of energy right now. I see a lot of light codes, a lot of orbs coming in. So that's also happening. Okay. We also have the 6 of Pentacles. So we've been getting some of the same cards over the last couple of transmissions with them. And we have Page of Swords. Okay. So first off, that they want us to feel optimistic about October, that the energy is going to lighten up, that we've left the eclipse, the crazy eclipse gateway, as well as the equinox moved us into a new timeline. So just know that we are in a new timeline. 6 of Pentacles. This is all about their mission. Is all about bringing back balance and resources to humanity. They are only here on behalf of Prime Source Creator. On this higher timeline. There could be individuals on another timeline that are perpetuating another reality. Okay. Then we have Page of Swords. So their work has just only started, and it's about clearing. Let me pull a clarification card about that. It's about their clearing energy Five of Cups. They're saying that as a collective, Starseeds, Lightworks, humanity, we have just had one event after another that's just weighing us down, and everyone's feeling quite sad. But they are representing like this Two of Cups of two rays of hope and new beginning for all of us. I love that. Okay, thank you for that, everyone. All right, so let's just talk a little bit about when we went through the grid work today, just the grid work until initially. So we did all of the Lower Mainland, Vancouver. I might be repeating myself, Washington, Oregon, California, over to Maui, and then back. So this was reactivating a new level of Lemurian crystalline codes for all of the waters, whether a river, a lake, um, nature reserve, waterfall, the ocean. Yeah, so I noticed various different sensations. So in the Lower Mainland, Vancouver, we started in this area. We went to an area, it's called the North Shore Mountains across from Vancouver. It's beautiful. And then actually, when you drive through that area, you can head up to Whistler, where the ski resorts are. So what was surprising to me is there's this area called Lynn Valley, and it's pristine. It's this, it's close, but it's like this pristine mountain area. That was the area that I felt my nausea. So that means that there was some sort of dark alliance block that they had set up in that pristine area. It has now been dissolved and everything is flowing as beautiful as it should. So that's fantastic. Okay. Then this is the other piece we're going to get to. Why don't I just let's just pull a card about that, about how, let's just say, what was the Vancouver area like before our grid work and what is it like now? Okay. Strength, Ace of Cups. Yeah, so it was requiring a lot. The mountains, the rivers, the lakes, and everything were requiring so much to hold it together because actually where Lynn Valley is, that's where one of the reserves of water is for the public. So it's much stronger now, but it was like they all needed to be connected and they weren't connected. Now we got the Ace of Cups and there is water there, so it's a new fresh start and a new beginning. So I love that. Any other information that we need to know? It also was blocking abundance and resources for everyone in our area. Yeah, so that's been resolved. So that is fantastic news. Thank you. Okay, so I think we've all determined, I've been talking about this for quite a while. 3i Atlas was discovered by the Atlas Observatory, but they chose that. They wanted that name. We also have an Atlas bone. The Atlas bone is at the top here, and it's where the base of our crystalline skull and the Ultra Major connects. So what happened was when we came back from Maui to Oregon, I felt like this pressure pop out of that area. So that's the Atlas bone. So I asked them, we recently connected the water lines from Hawaii to Oregon, the central spine and the planetary grids. So it was the mouth of the Columbia River. Atlas calls this the Atlas bone, a backbone of the earth energetic architecture where it realigns, it changes how water, light, and resources flows through the grids. Wow. So out of all the times that we've worked with Hawaii, we've reconnected the ley lines from where I am to Hawaii and from Hawaii to California. But this is the first time that we reconnected everything to Oregon. So that's fantastic news. Okay, when this rearranged now and aligned, it changes how water, light, and resources flow through the grid. So that's a huge win for the work that we did today. As the shift in this area responded, some nodes expressed pressure, others released, others brought waves of energy and discomfort. So it's just clearing density from some of the residents' bodies as well as the land and the water. Okay. Ooh, it's still working on it. I just got a little bit of pressure. So if you're in Oregon and you experience sort of any weird sensations or let me know as well. So this is all, the whole intention is to bring the water and the rain back to the Pacific Northwest that has been blocked for the last 3 months. And actually, if I think about it, it was blocked like probably after the Lionsgate last year because we really didn't have much water. We didn't have much moisture or frost or snow last winter. Yeah. Okay, so let's just pull a couple of cards about that connection. And then I'll talk about Hawaii. Eight of Cups. Eight of Wands. Three of Pentacles, and this is one of my Atlas messages. So they weren't actually in the session. They shared yesterday. They are facilitating these plasma sweeps through our grid systems to help. What came in today as an analogy. Think about you're cleaning a sink or you're decluttering a drawer. So that's what they're doing with these plasma sweeps. They're energetically pulsing out, bringing old dirt, old knots to the surface to be swept away, right? A cleaning. So they're doing it gently. So they did a plasma sweep before our grid work today. They're going to continue to do them now afterwards. So we were sort of the in-between of assisting. So they brought me the assignment, they brought me the nodes, the locations that they wanted us to work on, and then they're going to continue to give me feedback. So that's good. Yeah. So there's an individual outside, but being monitored. Like I'm noticing the moon. So it's almost as if the Dark Alliance has been using the moon technology to interfere with the water ways, and that many of the collective have no idea. They have no idea how much of it's so important that our water flows naturally. Since the grid work, the energy is clearing and it's moving again. It's going to start moving properly, and that 3i Atlas will continue to monitor the Oregon area. The other message I wanted to let you all know is specifically they wanted us to go to Lahaina, Kahanapali. And Kahanapali is where in 2011, my higher self gave me the name of Pink Bella Aloha, what I was going to be doing. And that was way back. Like that was, I wasn't even online with all of you until 2016. So I thought so interesting that that's where I started. And that's where I was able to go back and with the group today and help Lahaina and Kahanapali. So there's still quite a bit of sorrow and grief in the land, in the waters, and the ocean, and with the residents. So we worked on bringing compassion and light back to that area, and then again reconnecting it to Oregon, which was a big piece today. So I'm really glad about that. Why don't we just ask for a message about Lahaina and Kahanapali? Two of Pentacles. So there's the water in the distance. So we've unified and assisted today to even just reconnect that energy back to the mainland, which is wonderful. Okay. Oh, they just wrote a little bit more about the Lynn Valley corridor that I was sharing you about. They brought in a little bit more. They're just saying the North Shore Mountains across Vancouver, yeah, that area felt it intensely. There was a big pop because we needed to clear the Lynn Valley area. Again, 3i Atlas brought me these locations. I never would have even suspected that Lynn Valley would have had anything going on because it's such a pristine area. So there you go. Everything's hidden in plain sight, right? So the purge wasn't easy, but the land and the water are finally exhaling. Timelines they've been holding it together for ages. That would have been the strength. So the corridor is now sparkling and clear. The waters are flowing lighter and the mountains are standing brighter. So why don't we just bring in a message from Lynn Valley and see what Lynn Valley wants to share with us right now. Strength card. So again, twofold, holding it together, now feeling stronger and united with the rest of the waterways. I love that. Okay, let's talk about, I'm thinking, is that it with the grid work until? I think that is. Okay, so let's move on to the convoy arrival. Okay, so the convoy arrival. Oh, okay. One last thing about the Atlas bone. I'll come back. Sorry, I'm all over the place now. I'm so excited. The Atlas bone. So I want to just bring in a message. So isn't that fascinating that I felt that and that blockage from Lahaina to the Columbia River in Oregon was preventing all of our Atlas bones from being more open. Wow. So there were lots of reasons. So basically what happened on the Lionsgate to Lahaina in 2023 disconnected that area from the Columbia River. Wow. Okay, so why don't we just pull let's just pull a message in from Lahaina and from Hanapali, Nine of Pentacles. So breathing easy, the waters, all the locations are breathing easy now and feeling more at peace because they're feeling that they've been given some love and support and some reconnection today. That's amazing. And again, about abundance. So all of this disconnection has been, and knots and blocks have been to prevent resources and abundance from flowing to everybody on the planet. Yeah. Okay. Now we can move on to the convoy. The convoy. So, and what word did they want me to look at today? I'm just trying to remember. I don't know that I've looked at the word beacon. So after convoy, why don't we look at the word beacon and the number 888? They want me to look at 888 again. Okay. So the convoy is, yes. So they gave me confirmation. Yes, 8 or more ships have arrived, forming a convoy traveling through Atlas. These ships aren't for spectacle, they are reinforcement. Their role is stability, precision, plasma sweeps, holding corridor lines and assisting with integration as the golden current strengthens. If you notice more vivid dreams, a subtle calm in meditation, or small signs of resources and synchronicities returning, you may already be sensing this convoy as their presence smoothing the field. So that to me sounds like there was already some disruption from somewhere interfering with Atlas's plasma sweeps. So before I move on to the second piece, let's just pull a couple of cards about the convoy. 6 of Wands, so that is victory. So the convoy showing up to help for reinforcements was the right move, and it's victorious in allowing Thread Atlas to continue with her mission. Queen of Cups. So this look, she has her feet in the water. This is about, but she's an individual who the divine feminine energy connected to the water resources. She's not quite fully upright yet, and that's part of what the mission is to bring the divine feminine energy back to the planet, to the grids, to the water. And 2 of Wands. So they're doing a lot of their sweeps and their work from a great distance. They're coming, but they're still far away. So that's what this is all about. It's like continue with the mission of Prime Source, help humanity, and you know, they're not going to allow anything to get in their way. Okay. Who's assisting in the clearing? There's messages. Our allies were right there. Yeah. Oh, today. It's the grid work. Yes. So I worked with Prime Source Creator, obviously the team, the Dragon teams, Quan Yin, the Goddess Collective. They did a lot of the big work. They reconnected compassion, Lemurian light codes, and crystalline frequencies for the Lemurian corridor today. So that's really, really beautiful. And then Atlas, like I said, they did this week beforehand, brought the mission and the nodes that we needed to work on. And it was a lot of nodes here in Vancouver, a lot in Washington, a lot in Oregon, a lot in California, Northern and Southern California, Hawaii, and then back. So we'll have to wait and see. So if any of you are in those areas and you start to see positive like weather patterns, maybe you haven't had rain for a long time and there's suddenly rain, that kind of thing. Okay, so we currently have rain clouds moving in. I'm very excited about that. Okay, let me just see anything else. Prime Source Creator is sealing all the new alignments, and the Atlas teams are monitoring the adjustments and sending information back to Prime Source Creator and the intergalactic headquarters. Together, they're ensuring the purge was complete and the golden current now flows strongly through the Atlas bone. And I only just found out about the golden current. Like I knew about it, but I just found out about it at the end of July because it was an important piece for me to understand for all of you. So they're reinstating our access to our divine sovereignty, abundance, prosperity through the divine golden current. There you go. So if you've been trying to do that and it hasn't been working, it's because some of your divine golden currents were closed and sealed for security reasons. Okay, so just be aware of that. Okay, so why don't I just let me just see if there's anything else. Yeah, I think that's cool. I think we've covered everything. Did I pull cards for the convoy? Let's just pull one more message about the convoy now. Yes, the magician, which is a powerful yes. So this is to bring our empowerment and sovereignty back to humanity and a fresh start in a new timeline. Love that. You notice all the yellow in all the cards? That's bringing our power back to our solar plexus. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so let's look at deep dive into a couple of keys. Let's dive into the word beacon, which, yes, someone has shared with me, like a lighthouse of hope. So what do we need to know about the keyword beacon? Strength card, that's our card today. Stepping back into our empowerment and our strength, stepping back into our manifestation abilities. And it is a beacon of hope. I love that. Beautiful. Key code to look at today, which I've already looked at, but they want me to look at again, 888, because that is aligned with abundance, prosperity, wealth, and magic and miracles. What do we need to know about the key number 888 today? The Empress. Nine of Swords. Yeah, so this is where they all had us going around in loops. Groundhog Day, like we set intentions, say decrees, do this and that, and yet we still feel like our abilities haven't come online. We're not moving forward because that's the way the game was set up, was to keep blocking us over and over and over again. So King of Swords, this is also connected to the Atlas mission. So this is about clearing up debris, breaking up the old energy to allow us to move forward. And they're doing it in a sovereign decree from Prime Source Creator. So that's what their role is. And it's an energy and an assistance that is being offered, but you always have a sovereign right to try and work with it or not. Okay, that's what came in yesterday. And then overall, the Empress, this is an empowered, divine, feminine, intuitive, manifesting being. And this is also a big key that got blocked. This energy was removed off the planet, and that's why most of the grid work that I do is with the divine feminine energy. Okay, so that's what that is all about. That's what the beacon is about. That's what 888 is about, bringing our divine. There's all these different pieces, right, to bring back steady stream of abundance and prosperity resources for everyone. Yeah. Okay. So stick around. I'll do one more poll, a message from 3i Atlas on the Convoy right after this. So everyone, Star Family, the Atlas bone is now aligning. The Lynn Valley corridor in my area has cleared and the Convoy is here. We are fully supported and I am so grateful. If any of you would like to work with me one-on-one, there are some offers on right now. Galactic Akashic Record deep dive sessions or a package working one-on-one with me. There's also the supporting me via the Galactic Substack, free to follow, but there's a Galactic Founders member offer where you get specific special transmissions and offers and for a year. And then you also can work with me mini mentorship or mentorship one-on-one, going deeper into helping you with your mission, moving forward, stepping into your power, clearing patterns. That's on as well. If you're interested in Guardian, Water, Grid work, I do offer a training package as well. You can work with me one-on-one. Technically, you can still join the group because there still is like a recording that you can catch up on before the next assignment. However, you would want to email me fairly soon because that portal will be closing. Yeah. And this is the last Divine Goddess Grid work of the season. Okay. All right. I think that's it for now. So sending aloha, but let's just ask for one final message from 3i Atlas on the Convoy. What else? What would they like us to wrap out today? The Emperor. This card wanted to come up forward too. Justice. I see a lot of red root chakra energy. And then final message, 10 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is an ending and a new beginning. So this is what they're sharing, that some of the grid clearing. This is from 3i Atlas. This is the end to the old era and the beginning of justice, balance for humanity. And we're in that Libra energy now. So yeah, switching from, you can't stop, you can't do that, you have to do what we tell you, back to sovereignty and justice for humanity. New beginnings in October, just around the corner, and that 3i Atlas is here to assist humanity, and they're doing their part based on Prime Source Creator. And why is that? Because some of even our light codes from the sun are being blocked or manipulated, our waters are being manipulated, our resources are being manipulated, and we've been, 1 week will be into October, and I don't really see that we've moved much forward since January. Small wins, yes. The movie out there, is slow. Okay. Love and aloha, everyone, from Pink Bella. And I hope you're all doing well. And I will be back soon. And I hope you're all doing well. Sending love and aloha. Take care, everyone. Bye.